Hey there, and welcome to a Dave Does channel. This is the film and music channel. On this channel, I do everything from music breakdowns through to behind the scenes music stuff, plus top 10 lists and other things like that. So there's lots of different weird and random content on here. Today, I am checking out some Lovebites. Now, the last time I checked out Lovebites, it was on the ADK channel with Andy and Kirk. It's something we're not going to be doing Lovebites on that particular channel because, unfortunately, I think it's a style of music, or the band is a style of music that is, with our honest interpretations of how we felt about the band, it's not always going to be right for people. I have decided to cover this particular video, The Hammer of Wrath, which is from their Knocking at Heaven's Gate DVD. I want to check that one out myself to give it another kind of listen. It's been a while since I've listened to Lovebites. I think I actually, although saying that, I have actually did listen to them at least one track yesterday because it was on shuffle off their new album in the car. So yeah, I thought I'd just do it on this particular channel. And this will be a breakdown video rather than a what we call reaction video. So in this case, it'll be breaking down in certain sections. The first one is 30 seconds in, because that's the amount of time it takes for someone to make a decision about whether they would normally listen or continue listening to the song, or would skip it to another track, etc. Because has the song grabbed your attention in the first 30 seconds? That's quite an important part of it. Has it intrigued you enough to keep listening? And then we break it down into kind of end of the first chorus, kind of how's the song progressed, mid sections to see how it is, or how far the journey is taking you. And that's how we're going to do it. So let's get into this. Let me get it up on my screen and on your screen as well. There we go. Let's go. Lovebites, Hammer of Wrath. Count it in. Actually, I don't need to count it. I'll just click play. There we go. Okay, so there we go. First 30 seconds, and yeah, I mean, this is a great build-up. We're going into that kind of more kind of thrashier riff at the start to kind of now build you in. Big instrument or big kind of crescendo start there to introduce vocalists onto the stage. I'm not sure if this was the video I saw the intro track for. And we talked about a lot of movement on stage, was one of the question marks we had about really fast-paced song, lots of energy, but the physicality on the stage wasn't quite there. I can see already now that it feels a little bit more like there's a little bit more movement. The fact that she came back on stage, it makes me think that maybe the song before this was she'd left the stage for a reason, and there was maybe an instrumental part of it, or unless there was an encore part. I'm not sure where this sits in the set, but it's there somewhere. But let's go check this out. I am always impressed with Lovebites about how easily they play what they're playing. It's almost just like it looks like they're almost just strumming, but obviously they're not. But it's just, it looks like they can do it in their sleep almost. The musicality of the band. Drummer is an absolute metronome workhorse. Love the drummer in Lovebites. Okay, so I'm stopping here because it feels like we've done a full rotation of a verse and a chorus, etc. good energy of the track, lots of power, lots of mobility, good use of backing vocals from the rest of the band. Doesn't really have much of a hook, so song wise, it's not very memorable to me. It just sounds like a kind of very classic thrash band, just being played very, very well. But the song itself doesn't have much of what I would call like the vocal melody that's got that hookability in your head. So there's nothing that's kind of gone, yeah, that's the bit I'm going to remember after the end of this. I've already forgotten what the melody was. If you asked me, if you put a gun to my head right now and said sing the melody back, not a chance in hell that I'd remember that. So that's my only worry. Now, thrash songs don't traditionally have a huge amount of hookability in them, and a lot of what I've heard is this still has more hook than what I would say like the last Megadeth album had. The last Megadeth album for me was a 2 out of 10 album. I really didn't like it. Just mainly from a lyrical melody point of view, it just didn't work for me. Guitar riffs were great, but yeah, I just lost the interest. Vocal melodies and hookability to sink into my brain is very important to me personally. Not for everyone, but it is for me. Let's go. That part there, that's got a nice good bit of hook abilities. That shows that lovely build up, and there, that's nice. That will stick in my head a little bit. That one. Wow. So 2 part solos, split between our two guitar goddesses, as they might be called. Did really, really well. I loved the simplistic start to the first part of the solo, keeping a nice, simple melody line. Almost kind of had this Mediterranean Egyptian vibe to it, and then kind of going into a classic shreddy solo. And then we had a nice sweeping solo on the second part. So yeah, really good. Oh dear, this song is definitely one that grows on you over time. So the melody and the structure has definitely grown as the song has. I think the first sort of minute of the song, the first kind of passage until you get through that first chorus, hasn't really given you a huge amount to get it to. It's just got ferocity, thrash in there, and then what we're now getting is we're getting bass solos, we're getting guitar solos, we're getting great dynamics, some counter melodies, gang vocals. Yeah, it's all coming together in the second half of the song, so it's definitely a song that grows on you. Okay. There we go. Lovebites. Yeah, so that last part, that nice like passage of the song with the second full solo, or I guess the third solo, if you break it into the first solo into 2 seconds, or 2 seconds, two solos, or one solo each, or two parts. That was a little superfluous to the needs of the song for me personally. It felt a little excessive to have a third solo or a second full solo in the song. They could have easily taken 20 seconds out of the song and just shunted it forward, but of course it's their choice. It's how they wrote the song, so fair play. Really like the bass work, really like the guitar and drum work. Loved everything on the song. Even vocals, quite happy with the vocals, and vocals I have been critical of in the past. Vocals of Lovebites are not my favourite style of vocal. And that's not a. I've been accused of being racist before because I didn't like her vocals. There's a lot of people's vocals I'm not a big fan of, whether it's from an Asian country or an English or an American or vocals. It's just a personal choice. And so hers doesn't sit that well with me. I don't know what it is about her vocal tone, but I quite enjoyed the live performance in this one. I think I have heard this one on a recording, and it didn't really do anything for me on the recording. Really prefer the live performance. I think it just sounds, without that large polished production that you get with the album quality. I think the live sound just works really, really well for their music, more so than listening to it on the album, I think. That's again personal choice. I'm sure there are other people that prefer listening to the album and hearing all that high level of production, but I actually think the live sounds better. And I can also take back what I said on the first time we did a video on this live performance. There was a lot more movement, but the first song that I saw them, they were literally very rigid. This one they've obviously moved in, and some people did say at the time, you need to watch the whole set. They're playing for this long period of time. Of course, they're not going to run around, and also they do on later songs. They obviously do. They moved around a lot more on stage and kept that energy level going, which made it more interesting to visually watch them as a performance. So yeah, good song by Lovebites. I'm actually pleasantly surprised because when I picked this, I picked it because I wanted to come back to Lovebites to see if my opinion on them had changed in the 3 or 4 months since I last listened to a Lovebites song on the ADK channel. And in the back of my mind, I was kind of going, I'm probably not going to enjoy this. And it's weird. I didn't actively go into this going, I don't want to enjoy this. I was just like, no, worried a little bit, because whenever you do these videos for bands that you've historically done so before, you kind of go in there with the idea, because you don't want to be disappointed by going in there going, I'm really looking for this, is going to be brilliant, and then you feel disappointed if it's not. So I almost set myself up to not be disappointed, and actually I became pleasantly surprised by doing that. So maybe that's the right way for me to do it, is kind of be expecting it to not be as good as it potentially could be, and then when it is, you feel even more elated. So there you go. That's my thoughts on Lovebites. Now, if you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.